Hi and good night to all of the people that are watching my videos. This is the first episode of the Easy Talk podcast. So guys, this podcast is gonna be a bilingual podcast. It means that I'm going to speak English about any contents. So we just want to produce a lot of contents about anything that lives around us and any events that come up to our lives, so might be happening in our lives. And we want to teach something to each other, we want to learn English language in a different way. So بچه ها، این پادکست قراره یه پادکست 2 زبانه باشه. من قراره هم به زبان فارسی و هم به زبان انگلیسی تولید محتوایی رو شروع کنم در مورد اتفاقاتی که دور و برمون میفته، چیزهایی که باهاش مواجه هستیم روزانه، چیزهایی که میتونه برامون جالب باشه و یک جورای آموزش هم درش داده میشه و امیدوارم که براتون خیلی مفید باشه. So for the first episode and for the first session, I want to start talking about relationships. We have a different kind of relationships, and it has a lot of similarities and it has a lot of difference. So I want to start like this. We can introduce ourselves. We can introduce our relationship that two boys and two girls can be buddies to each other, can be friends. But the body is defined as a group of people or two people that they was friends for a lot of years, so for a long time, and they're going to be. But that kind of relationship I want to talk about tonight is some emotional relationship between the boys and girls that is really complex. All of the time has a lot of complexity. And it's really complicated to understand. So I want to just open all of these topics and all of the things that we cannot understand about this. So, first of all, if I want to introduce myself, I'm Serge. I'm 22, and I'm a kind of guy that had a lot of experience in these kind of relationships. So I just have some tips, and I just have some text and says that it's gonna really help you to develop your relationship, the level of your relationship. So first of all, this kind of relationship has a really considerable and reasonable age. We cannot just get into this relationship when we are 14 or 13, because we don't know anything about the emotional things that's gonna come up to our lives. And I really feel the duty to telling you guys that you should care about yourself. You should know. You should pay attention. What are you saying to that girl, or what are you saying to that boy? And you should consider. You should care about and pay attention to every details that are you saying to them, and every actions that you do. And in the really normal relationship, we should starting to create a situation, create a position for each other to make each other happy. So if I be with you for 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna have a hell of a good times with you, because I'm gonna enjoy this time with you, because I love you, or because I feel really secure with you. I feel peace with you. And this is one of the main reasons and one of the main factors that I'm really consider if I want to start a relationship. And if I want to add something to this conversation and to this explanation, as I said, we should consider and we should know in what age are we going to go into a relationship with a girl or a boy. So we just have to know about that. We have a maturity and immaturity. The maturity is defined as when someone knows much more other people about anything, about any factors, any things that gonna come up to their lives. So I know if for example, one of my relatives or one member of family or one of my friends died, I know what I'm going to do. So if we had an argument, we have a quarrel, I know how to control it. I know how to manage that because I'm a mature person. But when we start a relationship with immature peoples or immature persons, they're gonna call it a toxic relationship. Toxic relationship is basically defined as a relationship that cannot really good for you and has not any benefit for you. She or he cannot be your love, your first or your last love. You cannot teach each other anything because both of you are immature people. You cannot teach them. Okay, you should behave really good. You should behave well in these conditions and in these circumstances. But if you go into a relationship with mature peoples or mature girl or boy, he or she absolutely and certainly know how she or he gonna react about anything, any problems, any tasks that you're gonna complete and you're gonna solve in your relationship. That is the most important, I think, factors and things that all of the people, it doesn't matter boys or girls, should consider and should do in a relationship. Because if you start doing this task, if you sort of consider and caring enough to that girl, caring enough to that boy, it's gonna come up with a good result and conclusion. So بچه‌ها، چیزی که در موردش صحبت کردم این بود که رابطه‌ای که یک پسر و دختر شروع میکنن خیلی پیچیده‌تر از اونه که بخوایم با یک صحبت کوچیک بخوایم تمامش کنیم و بخوایم جمعش کنیم. همونطور که گفتم یک زمان و یک سن درست حسابی رو میخواد که شما به یک بالغیت ذهنی رسیده باشید و یک سری هستن که خب واقعا هنوز افراد بالغی نیستن، بعضی هم هستن که با توجه به ریاکشناشون، با توجه به کارهایی که تو رابطه انجام میدن میشه فهمید که این افراد بالغ هستن یا غیر بالغ هستن و هنوز نابالغن و هنوز نمیدونن چه ریاکشنی باید در موارد یا مشکلاتی که توی رابطه پیش میاد انجام بدن. So that is enough for the first episode, and I hope you really enjoyed this episode, and I'm gonna come up with a lot of fantastic and amazing topics for the next session. So good night.